Henry Fletcher taught music in a small rural school in Arcadia, Florida, but he wanted to live closer to his wife's family up in Pasco County. In 1972, he spotted an ad for a music teacher in Newport Richey. Applicants, it said, were to contact the principal directly, Mittye P. Locke. He called the school and made a common mistake. A woman answered. "I'd like to speak to Mr. Locke," he said. "This is she," came the reply. Pasco County was founded in 1887, carved out from southern Hernando County. Various one- or two-room buildings served as schoolhouses, such as they were. Simple wooden structures with log benches for seats and no plumbing, a wood-burning stove for heat in the winter. Then, in 1913, the Pasco district consolidated its schools, and the school board took bids for a more permanent structure of brick and mortar. Raymond Pierce, Mittye's older brother, remembered it this way. "I watched them build it," he said. "It was quite solid, in 3 layers, lime rock white brick, terracotta, then the outside red clay bricks. When it opened, I was one of the few early students, attending 7th through 10th grades." Then, on May 7, 1915, the Dade City Banner reported, "A new $10,000 brick school building has just been completed at Elfers. This building is thoroughly modern in every respect and an ornament to the town." The new Elfers School was modern indeed. It was the first brick school in town, with an upstairs auditorium, 3 classrooms, plumbing to run water into the building for drinking fountains and indoor toilets, and the latest in educational technology: blackboards, chalk, and erasers. The early days for Elfers School were tough. The flu pandemic of 1918 lingered on, causing student absences across the district. An attendance officer and other board members went on an inspection tour. At Elfers, they found only 31 students in attendance out of 91 enrolled. Most were home with the flu or scarlet fever. In those days, the school employed no janitors, so students were assigned the cleanup, cleaning the blackboards, sweeping and cleaning the rooms. Students did all the work in the building and on the grounds. One day, the school principal, Mr. St. Clair, made a complaint to local officials that some diseased hogs had wandered onto school grounds, making it their home, a nuisance for students and teachers, and a health hazard whenever a hog died. History does not record who cleaned the grounds then. In the early years, principals at Elfers usually served for only 1 or 2 years. 5 was the record. People like Clarence Walter Martin, George Dewey Pinholster, J. H. St. Clair, and Milbra Sparks. There were 9 principals in the first 20 years alone. It would be interesting to know which principal thought sitting in the upstairs windows was a good idea. Then, in 1937, a woman arrived who would serve for the next 42 years. A former student of the school named Mittye Walker Pierce. During her tenure, the name on the principal's door changed only to accommodate her married name. First, Mittye Walker Pierce, then Mittye Olson, and then Mittye P. Locke. It's the boys, mostly. In photo after photo, some boys are wearing shoes. Some are not. Shoes were expensive and often saved for special occasions like church or graduation. And look at that graduation dress. White pants, white shirts, belts and ties, white dresses boasting beautiful corsages, and the classiest of shoes. The students here are all dressed alike. These are not their own outfits. Someone has provided these clothes for them, for their special day, all dressed alike so that on this day at least, those with modest means are indistinguishable from those more fortunate. Perhaps the teachers pooled their money. Perhaps the PTA helped. However it happened, look at all those smiles. Today, there's little need to provide students with shoes. Occasionally, though, one will need a sweater against the chill, or maybe a costume for Halloween, because they have none. And every Friday, the school sends meals home where needed to carry children over the weekend. The true value of a school, its true worth to a child, can lie hidden for years. It doesn't always appear on a report card. It cannot be found on a balance sheet. Music was always a part of Mitt's life. She performed a piano solo at the first graduation of Gulf High School on April 29, 1924, and sat in with the Ritchie Community Band, where Henry Fletcher would one day serve as director. In the 1960s, Elfer School was running out of space, so a new building was planned. The school board had decided to name the new school Stevenson Elementary to honor former board member Richard D. Stevenson, Sr. Residents of Elfers didn't like it. They wanted to keep the name of Elfers in the public mind. After some debate, the new school opened in 1966 as Elfers Elementary. The new Elfer School, however, did not have a music room when it opened. Henry Fletcher would travel room to room for music classes, pushing a cart with his keyboard balanced on top. The Elfers Elementary Band rehearsed in the cafeteria at the end of the school day. This was the arrangement until 1985, when the Media Center and Music Room building was opened. The music room followed Mr. Fletcher's excellent design, spacious, practical, and acoustically excellent. And yes, it has a blackboard, chalk, and erasers. Thank you, Henry Fletcher. In 1979, after 42 years of service, Mittye P. Locke retired. Someone thought it would be fitting to rename the school in her honor, And in 1983, Elfers Elementary became Mittye Locke Elementary. This time, the residents of Elfers lodged no objection. One day, perhaps years from now, someone might ask, "Did you ever go barefoot and have someone give you shoes?" Or on a chilly day, did someone offer a sweater, a jacket? When every other child had a costume for the character parade and you had none, did someone find one just for you? Was there once a place where people cared like that? Where they worked for your success and where they refused to give up on you? And you'll say, yes, there was such a place. And they'll ask, where is it? And you'll say, this was she.